Hello, welcome, happy Friday. We're going to do a little bit of power work today. I'm going to get you started by standing shoulder width with the feet. And let's just breathe here. Let me look at you. Let's just breathe. Let's lift and inhale. Lower and exhale. Good. Lift and inhale. And lower and exhale. One more big deep inhale through the nose. And hold up in the air. Hold those arms up in the air. Take it to the side. Exhale, bend to the side. Keep that body central. Up moving forward, up moving back. Big deep inhale, exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, shoot over to the other side. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, take it to the other side. Hold. I like to keep my hands kind of uncomfortable when I'm doing these side bends. So you can have your hands apart, you kind of grasp them, whatever's helping. Back to the center. Side bend over to the other side. And we grab them, just kind of pull a little bit of extra stretch in that side. Good. And back to center. We're going to get to work today. Starting at the back of the mat. Big deep inhale. Exhale, hinge at those hips. Slowly let those hands come down to the mat. And we're going to crawl out into a plank. Hold that plank. Hold. Belly in. Big deep inhale. Stack those arms. Wrists under the shoulders. Big deep inhale, hold that belly in. Lengthen that neck and spine. And let's crawl those hands back up. Crawl back up to the feet. Hang. Nice little grab on those elbows. Hinging at those hips, hanging the upper body. Knees bent, soft bend in the knees. Hanging with that upper body. We're going to take an inhale and raise, rolling up to the spine. So inhale, we raise, roll up through the spine, lifting the arms. Good. Exhale, we hinge. So hinging at the hips, palms come down to the mat, and crawl those hands back out. Coming into that plank position again. Stack those wrists under the shoulders, suck that belly in, holding tight. Lengthening with the neck. Good. Big deep inhale. Pull it out. Good. One more big deep inhale here. Exhale, crawl those hands back to the feet. Grab the elbows and hang. Good. Hang. Soft knees. Hinged at the hips. Big deep inhale. One more exhale here. Good. As inhale, we're going to raise. Inhale, we roll up through the spine and raise. Lift those arms. Reach for the sky. Exhale, we hinge. One more time, hinge. Hinge at those hips. Palms come down to the mat. Crawl those hands out back into plank. Good. This time we're going to center our bodies. Wrists under the shoulders, lengthening through the neck, holding the belly in. Do a little bit of core work here today. So hold and breathe. Big deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth. One more big deep inhale. And on this exhale, we're going to push up into that down dog. Push the hips back. Lower that head. Soft bend in the knees. Stay here in down dog for a minute, opening those shoulders up. So rolling the shoulders away from the ears. You can open the hands up just a little bit. Nice bend in those knees, nice stretch in that back, lengthening through the spine, lengthening through the neck. Good. Big deep inhale here. Exhale, we're going to roll back to plank. So big deep inhale. Exhale, we come back to plank. Good. Straightening those hands. Wrist underneath the shoulders. Belly in. Hold, hold, hold. Good. Big deep inhale. We're working today. Exhale, push up into that down dog. Good, and hold. Just stretch through those shoulders. Lengthen through the neck. Big deep inhale. And on this exhale, we're going to bring those knees down towards the mat. Like we're coming into table position. But our knees are going to hover. So our knees and our shins are just hovering over that mat. They're not hitting the mat. They're hovering. Really working those quads. Hold, hold, hold. Big deep inhale. Exhale. Hold it up. Hold those shins up. Big deep inhale. Exhale. Push back into that down dog. Good. Hold here. Soft knees. Lengthening through the neck. Rolling the shoulders away. Nice little resting position in our down dog today. Good. Big deep inhale. Exhale here. One more big deep inhale. Exhale, we're going to roll back into that plank. Coming back into that plank. Adjusting the wrists underneath the shoulders. Holding that belly in. Lengthening through the spine. Good. Big deep inhale. One more exhale. Good. Big deep inhale. And exhale, we lower that body down to the mat. So let the whole upper body, lower body come down to the mat. Flipping those feet over. Big inhale here. I like to place my hands, my thumbs, just underneath my armpits. And we're going to do push-up, raise, and lower. So we're going to push all the way up, just like we're pushing up into a plank. We're going to hold. And then we're going to come back down. So big, deep inhale. Exhale, push up into that plank. Big, deep inhale. Exhale, lower back down to the floor. Keeping those elbows in. Good. Big deep inhale here. Exhale, push up into that plank. Big deep inhale here. Exhale, hold. We're going to stay in that plank position. Really working those arms. Wrists are underneath the shoulders. Good. We're going to do what's called a straight arm push-up. So we're opening up the shoulder blades. Lowering the chest just a little bit. My arms are staying straight. And then I'm going to lift. Lift that upper body. Good. By opening and closing the shoulder blades. So opening and closing the shoulder blades. We're just going up and down. One more. Up into that plank. Good. Come all the way back down to that mat. Arms should be working. Good. And we're going to push back into it. Into a nice child's pose now. Take a nice little rest on those arms. So I'm just going to lift the upper body, shift the hips back, bring those feet together, open up those knees, and just let that bottom come down. Stretching those arms out in front of you, bringing the forehead down to the mat. Good, nice little resting position. Stay here and breathe. Big, deep inhale, lengthening, stretching through the arms, lengthening through the neck. Good. One more big, deep breath here. And exhale, good. Another inhale, and on that exhale, and we come up onto those forearms. Shifting the weight forward onto the forearms. Palms can come down to the mat. Tuck those toes under and we're going to push up into our dolphin. So big deep inhale. Palms and forearms flat on the mat. Big deep inhale. Exhale. We're shooting those hips back just like we do in our down dog. Coming into that dolphin pose. Keep those knees bent. Straighten them out once you get more comfortable. Pressing those heels back towards the mat. Good. Nice little arch in the core area. Lengthening through the neck. Take that tension out of the neck, and we're just going to hold here, working the shoulders and the arms today. Good. If you can, once you start working, you can get that little dip in. So you come forward, dip the head, right back into that dolphin position. Or we can just stay here in dolphin, whichever is more comfortable. And hold just a little bit longer. Big deep inhale. Good. Exhale through the mouth, always through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Good. One more big deep inhale. Exhale, lower those knees down to the mat. Bring those feet together, open up those knees just a little bit, and shift the weight back into that child's pose, resting position. Forehead comes down to the mat, stretching the fingertips and the arms out. Stretch, stretch, stretch. You want to get into those shoulders a little more. Sometimes when I'm here, I like to come up on my fingertips. Just gets a nice stretch through the shoulders and the upper back just a little bit more, just a little bit deeper here. Good. One more big deep inhale. Exhale, shift that weight back forward. Palms and hands come back down to the mat, flipping the feet over. Big deep inhale. Exhale, push up into that dolphin. Good. Holding here, lengthening through that neck. Shifting my weight back, bending the knees. Really feeling that stretch in my shoulders, really feeling that work in my shoulders and my arms today. Good. Big deep inhale. On that exhale, we need a little more work in. We're going to come down into that forearm plank. So scoop my body up just a little bit, keeping my hands where they are. Shoulder width apart. Sucking that belly in, just like with the straight arm plank, and hold, and breathe. Sometimes when I'm here, I like to do a little twist and dip, kind of get a little bit more work in that core. Something you can do, just dipping those hips to the side and twisting, dip and twist. Or we can just stay here in plank, whatever you're more comfortable with. Big deep inhale. Or exhale. One more, and then we're going to go back into that resting pose. Big deep inhale. Good. Exhale, lower those knees to the mat. Push those hips back. Bring those feet together. Open those knees up. Push those hips back into that resting pose, child's pose. Forehead comes down to the mat, stretching the arms out and the fingertips out. Overhead, stretch, stretch, stretch. Good. Big deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Good. Big deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth. A little bit more work here. Big deep inhale. Exhale, shift that weight back forward. Back onto those palms, forearms, tucking those toes under. Big deep inhale. Exhale one more time. Let's push up into that dolphin. Good. Hold. And then we're going to shift. So we're going to take scoop my feet back just a little bit more here. Big deep inhale here. Exhale, I shift, come right back down into that elbow plank. Good. Hold, and breathe. Hold. Hold with me. Big deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Good. Holding that belly in, lengthening that neck. Big deep inhale. On that exhale, we're going to push up one more time into that dolphin. So push. You can do it. Push up into that dolphin. Shift those hips back. Curl those feet up just a little bit. Soften those knees. Pushing through the shoulders, lengthening through the neck. Pushing through the forearms and the palms of those hands. Just getting that nice stretch in the shoulders there. Good. Hold, and breathe. Big deep inhale. And exhale one more. Big deep inhale. Exhale, lower those knees to the mat. Bring those feet together. Open up those knees. Shift that weight back. Forehead comes down to the mat. Arms are stretched out in front of you. Good. Child's pose, breathe, resting pose. Big deep inhale through the nose. Big exhale here. Big deep inhale. Exhale, I'm going to lift my forehead off the mat and take my hands just over to the side of my mat. So over to the left side, really feeling that stretch through the right side of the body. Same format as child's pose. We're just taking it off to the side here, feeling that stretch through the side of the body. Good. Hold and breathe. Big deep inhale. Exhale here. One more big deep inhale. Exhale, bring it back to center. Good. Arms are centered. Big deep inhale. Exhale, take it over to that other side. Hands are just coming off to the side of the mat. And stretch through the left side of that body. Good. Big deep inhale here. Really feeling that stretch. Exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let's bring it back to center. One more big inhale. And exhale. Just shift that weight forward and come right down onto your tummy here. Get a nice stretch in the arms with an up dog. So we're going to bring our thumbs just underneath our armpits here. Placing the palms of the hands and the fingertips on the mat. So just sort of raising through my fingers and making sure I'm connecting with my fingertips and the palms of my hand. Good. Thumbs are just right underneath my elbows. Big deep inhale. Feet are flipped over. Exhale, I'm going to lift up into that down dog position. So just straightening the arms, lifting with the chest. I don't want the head to be back here. I don't want it too far forward. I want it to just be an extension of my spine. So lengthening through the neck and the spine, lifting, lifting, lifting. Almost taking the weight out of that arms and putting it more into the lower back, lifting with the chest, lifting up, up, up. Good, breathe. Big deep inhale. Exhale. One last little push with the arms here. Big deep inhale. Squeezing those elbows into my body. I'm going to just lower my chest right down to a 90-degree angle. Down cobra. Holding right here. Chest is still lifted. Neck is still lengthened. Arms are about at 90 degrees and I'm just holding and breathing. Big breath in here. And exhale. Big deep inhale. Good. Exhale. One more big deep inhale. We're going to shift the weight back and come back into that child's pose. One last time. Feet come together. Knees open up. Shifting the hips back. Forehead comes down to the mat, stretching those arms out above our head. Nice little child's pose, resting pose here. Really stretching those arms today. Big deep inhale. Exhale here. Remember, you can come up onto these fingertips here. If you want to get a little bit of an extra stretch. Big deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Good. One more big deep inhale. And exhale, I'm just going to come up real quick into that tabletop position. Since we did so much arm work today, get a nice little stretch here. So I'm in my tabletop, my wrists are underneath my shoulders, my knees are underneath my hips, holding that belly in. I'm going to take my inhale. I'm going to reach my left arm right out to the side. Nice inhale. Exhale, that left arm crosses the body, shoulder comes down to the mat, twisting with the spine. Twist, twist, twist. Follow the flow of the body. Right arm comes up overhead, relaxing that neck. And just a nice stretch through that left shoulder, through that left side of the body. Good. Nice twist. Twist, twist, twist. Eventually, you can kind of come back with that upper arm. Get a little bit more of a twisting, never forcing. Breathe. One big deep inhale. Exhale here. Big deep inhale. Good. Exhale here. Big inhale. Exhale. Come back to that tabletop position. Wrists are stacked right underneath the shoulders. Big inhale. Right arm goes straight out to the side. Lengthen that neck. Exhale. Right arm crosses over the front of the body. Coming across the mat. Palms up. Twisting that spine. So twisting at the spine. Right arm comes up overhead. Eventually we can bring that over back, behind the back to get a little bit more of a stretch through that shoulder. Wherever you're comfortable, not forcing anything. Moving with the flows of your body. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Good. Big inhale here. to that tabletop position. Good. We're just going to slide those legs forward, come onto our bottoms here. Stretch those legs out in front of me. Gently bring myself back, getting ready to end the day with Savasana. Straighten out those legs. Palms come up, arms come down to the side of the body, relaxing the head, relaxing the neck, relaxing the upper body. Big deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, we melt into the mat. Melt, 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 melt. Melting with the lower back, melting with the upper back. Good. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, melt. Good. One more big deep inhale. And exhale, melt, 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 melt. Good. We can stay here in Savasana for as long as we need to. And when you're ready, go ahead and pull those feet back up through the rear. Pull the body up, sitting up however you're comfortable. Finishing my day in seated pose and wishing you a happy Friday. Namaste.